Welcome to Dark Knight Films Reviews and another Versus Night. Tonight, I will be comparing The Godfather from 1972 versus Goodfellas from 1990. Alright, so let's get started on this one with the leads. Godfather stars Marlon Brando and Al Pacino. Goodfellas stars Robert De Niro and Ray Liotta. Now, The Godfather is a classic, great film. Marlon Brando gives an excellent performance in here as Don Vito Corleone. And Al Pacino at this point was not the Al Pacino that we know now. His performance is a bit more subtle. He is, some would say, not putting too much emotion into this character of Michael. And I don't think it's one of Al Pacino's best performances. I think he's too calm and too relaxed in this character, and it does make him a little bit of a boring character in this, as opposed to some of the other characters in this, which I'll mention under supporting. But Marlon Brando, my God, great performance here from him. On the other side of the spectrum, we have Robert De Niro as the character of Jimmy in Goodfellas. And he, as usual, makes this character very, very likable, but at the same time a dangerous guy that you don't want to mess with. And Ray Liotta's Henry is he's very likable. He puts a lot of emotion into his character in certain points in the film, unlike Al Pacino. This one is hard to do any comparison between the leads because of, I think Ray Liotta beats Al Pacino in the co-leads. But I don't know if I can say that Marlon Brando gets beat by Robert De Niro. That's just, they both give great performances in there, but in different ways. Just on the leads, like I said, I could pick Goodfellas over The Godfather if it was just Ray Liotta versus Al Pacino in this film. But it isn't. And we still have Marlon Brando and Robert De Niro going against each other in this. And that one is just too close to call. Both these guys gave excellent performances in their respective films. So I am going to give the leads a tie and give each one a point here. Let's move on to supporting and see if we can get a clear-cut winner on that category. The supporting cast on The Godfather consists of James Caan, Robert Duvall, Richard Castellano, Sterling Hayden, Diane Keaton, Abe Vigoda, and Talia Shire. The supporting cast on Goodfellas consists of Joe Pesci, Lorraine Bracco, Paul Sorvino, Mike Starr, Bo Starr, Samuel L. Jackson, Ileana Douglas, and Tobin Bell. Now, James Caan as Sonny Corleone. I mean, that's the difference between night and day. Sonny, the performance of Sonny compared to the performance of Al Pacino as Michael. James Caan is amazing in The Godfather. He is awesome in his role. I absolutely love the character of Sonny. And then you have Robert Duvall. And even though his character is more the smart guy that is helping with finances and the money stuff and business, everything, Duvall gives an excellent performance. He is the epitome of how to do it subtle, but still make the character interesting, as opposed to what Al Pacino did as Michael. Richard Castellano is really good in here as well. He is, he just comes off as a legit mob kind of a guy in here. Really great performance there. Sterling Hayden as this corrupt police officer in here is excellent. At this point in his career, he was on a little bit of a slump in his career, and it was The Godfather that kind of helped push him back into the limelight again as an actor. Diane Keaton is great in here with her performance as well. Abe Vigoda, much like Richard Castellano, is it really feels like this mob character. I mean, he is great in his performance in here. And Talia Shire is excellent as well, just like she would be in her performance in Rocky after this. Now, when we look at the supporting cast on Goodfellas, I mean, we have Joe Pesci, and his character is so good. At the time before he was cast in Goodfellas, he was playing more, good guy sidekick characters and comedies and stuff like that. So him coming in here playing this total tough mob guy, take no shit off nobody, kind of a character. He is just awesome. I love the sequence in there when he is talking to Ray Liotta and he's telling a joke, and Ray Liotta ends up, laughing at it and everything, and he takes offense to it.
How the fuck am I funny? What the fuck is so funny about me? Tell me what's funny.
Get the fuck out of here, Tommy.
You motherfucker, I almost had him.
Now, was he really just messing with him, or was he really offended by it? It almost feels like he was offended by it, but then he downplays it, and everything. But Joe Pesci's performance is so good in this film, as is Lorraine Bracco as Ray Liotta's wife in here. She is she's beautiful, and she's really likable as the character in here. Paul Sorvino, he's one of those actors, very much like Richard Castellano and Abe Vigoda in The Godfather. He just fits right into that mob kind of gangster film. His character is excellent, as is Mike Starr. His character is really good in here as well. Bo Starr, who prior to this had played Sheriff Meeker in Halloween 4, my favorite Halloween film, where in that he was super likable. In this, he is a complete asshole. He is the abusive father to the young version of Ray Liotta's character of Henry. And you do not like him at all in this film, which means Bo Starr did his job in playing that character that way. Samuel L. Jackson is really good in his role as well, and of course this was a film that was much like Jurassic Park. It was before Samuel L. Jackson was Samuel L. Jackson, but he still gives a really good performance in here. Ileana Douglas gives a great performance as well in this for the time she's on screen. She's not as big, as a character as what Lorraine Bracco got, but she's good in her role while she's in there. So, Jesus, these two films have equally as good a supporting cast as they do their leads. Jesus, comparing James Caan to Joe Pesci and Robert Duvall to Paul Sorvino. This is a tough one. Shit. But I think on this one, I am going to give a bit of the edge to The Godfather on this one. And I'm going to give it supporting. So, let's move on to story and see if we can get a clear-cut winner there as well. The plot of The Godfather is Don Vito Corleone tries to run his crime empire with Michael, a son who isn't interested in the family business, and a hothead Sonny who fully embraces it. The plot of Goodfellas is a gangster, Jimmy Conway, is impressed with a youngster named Henry and grooms him to be a part of his criminal family, and is eventually threatened by him, which causes him to become an informant. This is two well-written stories here, and it is hard to pick one on this one, because the story on The Godfather is incredible. But the story on Goodfellas is equally incredible. I think the only thing that might bring The Godfather's story down, and it's not so much the story, it's kind of that mild performance by Al Pacino in there that kind of brings down certain scenes that he's in. Like I said in my leads, I don't think this is the best performance we would ever get out of Al Pacino. He's serviceable in this film, but his meek and mild performance as this character, although if it was done in a similar way like Robert Duvall did as Tom, it might have worked a little better. But as it is, I think that kind of does bring the Godfather story down a little bit. So I am going to give story to Goodfellas. So let's move on to direction and see if we can get a clear-cut winner. The Godfather was directed by Francis Ford Coppola. Goodfellas was directed by Martin Scorsese. Now, this is another one that is too close to call. Francis Ford Coppola and Martin Scorsese both bring these characters to life in their respective worlds that these characters live in so believably and so good that you are drawn into this world of these crime, mobster, gangster characters. And they just do such a great job directing the actors, directing the characters, that it is a perfect directing job on both fronts. So I think you know where I'm heading with this one. Man, I'm going to have to give this one a tie as well. So that brings our final score with The Godfather versus Goodfellas to 3-3. So no clear-cut winner on this one, although The Godfather did have a superior supporting cast, and Goodfellas had a little bit better story just because of the Michael character not being played to the full potential of that character, in my opinion. But what do you guys think of these two films? Do you agree with my assessment on this one? Do you disagree? Let me know in those comments down below. And, as usual, if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to click that bell icon so you can be notified about future videos just like this one. And while you're by the subscribe button, click that join button and become a Dark Knight fan. Well, that's the end of another Versus Night. If you missed last week's Versus Night, check out the link up in here. Or if you've missed any of the other Versus Nights, check out our playlist and see anything that you have missed.